Whatever the topic of your research, you will need to follow the scientific method. This is something that you probably do every day in class without thinking about it, and it is the basis of all scientific research.
You think about what you're trying to find out, you design your experiment around it, see if it worked, see what was good and what wasn't, adapt it, and then try again with some more samples.
I don't think you can go in thinking you know the answer.
Instead of trying to just search for evidence that supports, the conclusion you've already come to, what you really want is to look at all of the evidence.
As a scientist, you have to approach your data set quite objectively without your personal biases. So for example, if you bet your own career on finding something in your data set, you can't contrive the data set to arrange that you actually find it.
This comes back to something that you get taught about called the null hypothesis, which is you try to prove that your idea is wrong and that you should end up not being able to prove yourself wrong.
Before you start any kind of work, you really need to plan it out and think about what your aims are. And obviously before that comes all of the risk assessments and the safety.
Have to have a clear objective, because if you just go in and say, oh wow, this is so fascinating, I wish I could study like everything, it's actually not feasible.
It's really important to be able to reproduce things.
Because otherwise you can quite frequently chase off after something that wasn't actually there. It might have been an anomaly.
You can revisit, you can go back, you can do a measurement again, or you can test to see if something changes.
What is very key in astronomy research is making sure you understand the errors associated with each measurement, what biases you may have.
You're never going to get perfect results or perfect answers. There's always going to be problems, and one of the most important things is to recognise what those problems might be in the method that you're using.
And then also making sure you understand statistics. If you're looking at large samples, make sure you get your statistics correct.
One of the main things is that you can be very quickly discouraged when something that you attempt does not come to fruition.
Just backtracking your research and maybe thinking about the results in a broader sense is a really important part of the learning process.